Right, you know, but
within a year
when
to
you look
be
at
out.
those reports, is somebody gonna say, looks like you need to, according to your sales, it looks like maybe in certain employees, you shouldn't need to work, maybe the owner should work more. Some, you know.
They've got very good accounting.
You know what I mean,
Yeah, they do a,
that's numbers, but somebody who's actually gonna see the day-to-day activity,
yeah, I don't know.
That
know,
those people exist through SCORE or through,
you know, that's something that we can
yep,
suggest to them.
and we've done
You
that.
know, I think,
But it's just like telling your kids.
right,
You know, they've gotta be willing to go
it's
do
in
it.
front of you, I'm, you know,
We've also recommended, you know, there are, more than I have fingers, nonprofits, for-profit, government-funded, state programs, federal programs, all set up to help people get out of credit card debt. The EDA not among them. We're not experts in this. This is just a quick workaround.
I don't, they still gotta pay it back.
Right.
The way you're talking, Tom, is like, we're paying it back for them, and we're not. You make it sound like, oh, we approved this one, it's paid off.
Well, it's a
It's not
guarantee.
doing
I'm
that.
skeptical of the bank's role. I'm skeptical of all of a sudden we have 4 loan guarantee requests. And it caught us flat-footed. I've said that before. We hadn't really understood it or explored it. The more we explored it in this one with credit cards, again, they have security. They just won't put it up. It's credit cards, personal credit cards. We had a business plan and an assurance at the get-go that these credit cards would be paid off first thing. And then we had a forbearance request, which we were easy. We gave it. To suggest that that we're not helping them, I think is.
what's the duration of the loan,
Which one?
the 18,000,
4 year.
4 years?
Well,
And then
I'm not.
there are other payments, but for how long?
Go ahead.
You know, that their original money that.
Oh, for the bank and all?
Yeah.
10 years, isn't it?
Yeah,
10 years?
wasn't there was it was amortized for 20 with a balloon intent, wasn't it?
I think that's what the bank did.
Okay.
Ours doesn't balloon.
Ours is 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Couple of questions I guess I have. Has there ever been any talk of them losing the business or going out of business because of this credit card debt? None that I've ever heard, correct?
Not to us, to my knowledge.
If, to Chris's point, that it's 18,000, and yes, we do have a EDA fund that is magnificent. If this was 10 years ago, we would never consider
This wouldn't even be in the room.
Right,
Yeah.
we would never consider this as an EDA. To Tom's point, if I had $18,000 and EDA is gonna guarantee it, I'd loan it to them. If the EDA is gonna back it. But I don't have the $18,000. Do you?
Let's Ponzi this thing out.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's not, I'm not gonna go where you said and says it's not a good loan, but I will say it's not a logical loan for the EDA. And I will say, as a council member, and Chris, we've had this happen in council, where they start second guessing not only subcommittees, but EDAs, library boards, you name it. And how does that go over?
Yeah.
The subcommittee has given us a direction I think we need to follow. Unless that direction is completely out of whack, and I guess I don't see that. So. And I'd like to help them. But they need to help themselves first on this one. And to Tom's point, we've given them everything they wanted. to this point, everything.
And there may be something more suitable for EDA, economic development, rather than financial debt relief,
And I'm sorry for all the work you guys have put into it.
that we can do for them in the future.
So,
Any other comments? I mean, I
Well, I guess
appreciate everybody's comments.
Well, I guess my point is, when we direct them to do something about the debt, and they come up with a plan, we should try and respect that a little bit.
but they're asking us to do it.
Well, no, they gotta pay it.
But they're asking us to take them off the hook, Chris.
We're not taking them off the hook.
And the bank
We're-
won't-
we're-
We
we're
are,
not taking-
we are.
We're not taking
We
them off
are.
the hook, we're reducing
We
the
are,
interest
because
rate.
We're given.
a month from now, if those credit cards aren't gone, they could be in the same spot with those credit
And they're
cards.
in her personal name. They're on
They're
multiple.
personal, they're not
multiple.
business, you can't cut them off.
It's
They're her
not like
personal
one.
cards.
And again, we could put hoops to jump through when it comes to those things.
And what happens when they come back and say, oh, well, sorry, I had already used the card. Or part of the business is sold off, or, you know, hoops are just that, they're hoops. Everybody's gonna figure out how to jump through them.
Yeah, there's nothing that we could do in a guarantee status. If we
Yeah.
loan them the money, that would be different.
But if we loan them the money, then we have to consider putting that $18,000 in security against the second position on on the mortgage. And
Instead
again,
of-
we're not,
it's empty.
now we owe more money than the bank in a second position.
Right.
So I mean, this is a hard one.
Which we'd still have more leverage.
We would have more leverage in the guarantee, but it does put us in a very awkward position.
But
And
that's,
we're doubling down on debt, you know, but we've given unsecured debts for a lot more than that, but that's no reason to keep doing it.
Right.
yeah, we wanna stop doing it, but I should add, Mark, that, I mean, the subcommittee, we asked that question over and over. Would we loan the money? Why don't we? In fact, we'll hear some Plan B on the next one. The EDA is in a much stronger position. You have the contractual relationship if you loan the money. And you have, some teeth, and you have some recourse, and you can take legal action. You know, Terry at the bank meeting said, well, you can sue them. I mean, if it fails and the bank, and we pay the bank, go ahead and sue them and get your 18,000 back. It's, all of that, most of this is just based on my experience here at EDA. Going back a couple of presidents and several years. When's that term up?
6 years, dude, 6 years.
Yeah.
You're a senator.
We're just constantly arm wrestling with the Tom Burns of the world, and the Amy's. I mean, she's a formidable, you sit across the table from Mrs. Feller, she's no slouch. She knows how to play it, she presents her case well, and then can get forceful. She's a businesswoman. All of this adds up to she's not in a wheelchair financially. And, obviously, it would be easier to, if we would just do this. And ultimately, we might be wrong, but the subcommittee unanimously, with everyone speaking, it wasn't just me, looked at this and thought it was a bad idea for the EDA to get into loan guarantees and to get into credit card consolidation.